Well, I think a lot of your critiques are legitimate, but I don't want the government coming in and saying for ideological or even fact-based disputes, right? In the same way, let me paint you a picture for a moment. Imagine that after the 2020 election, Biden's FCC had said to the 500 radio stations, which are also regulated by the FCC, that carry Fox News radio, that listen, you guys got to get rid of this Sean Hannity guy, or take action on Hannity, or easy way or hard way, or those licenses could be in danger. I would call that an attack on the free press. I would call that an attack on the First Amendment, and I think you would too. But the only difference here is that the partisan loyalties are switched here. And if we have double standards, well, we don't have any standards at all.
I think that's a pretty interesting analogy. What I think is a more apt, not analogy, but historical example. And I want to be clear to you and the audience. We're talking specifically about the FCC. So that does not apply to private citizens, to social media, to cable news. It doesn't apply to anything but broadcast licensed media entities, which are licensed by the government and therefore regulated by Congress, empowered through the FCC. We have a history. In fact, we have half a century of history of all of these networks doing something. I looked up what does it mean to be in the public interest, Brad. It does mean a diversity of viewpoints. Do you think you can look at ABC or NBC or CBS over a half a century and say they've honored that requirement of serving the public interest, a diversity of viewpoints?
No, not necessarily, although, to be honest, I'm not sure you could look at Fox News Radio and say the same thing. I would rather let the marketplace decide.
But Fox, okay, here's where your analogy fails.
Or not
Fox News Radio is one of many, dozens and dozens of stations across the country that carry various viewpoints. In the case of television, it's 3 or 4. That's it. So in radio,
they could threaten
you have
the licenses
dozens,
in the same
in radio,
way. You either want to play this game or you don't.
Of licensed channels to provide a multitude of viewpoints, if you will, a diversity of viewpoints to serve the public interest. That's not the way it's been in television.
None of that changes the First Amendment and free speech concerns. The Supreme Court just ruled 9-0. You cannot exert pressure on private companies as the government to make ideological-based changes or punish their viewpoints. I think it's very clear, even if I find the viewpoints reprehensible that Jimmy Kimmel espoused, that that is what's happening here. And frankly, I came on Fox many times to blast the Biden administration's jawboning. They were pressuring private companies to take down free speech. When Brendan Carr gets up there and threatens to take away or revisit licenses and says we can do this the easy way or the hard way, it's wildly inappropriate. It's attack on free speech and it's attack on the First Amendment. And I would feel the same way regardless of the partisan loyalties.